Welcome back. This is episode 6.
I think you said 7.
I think this is episode 6. And we're gonna figure it out in post production. Oh man, we're back. It's your boy TP, co-host in the building.
What's good, y'all? Man, I'm glad to be back, man. I'm back in the flesh. Teddy, he was holding down the fort while I was gone, but I'm back.
Doing what I do.
What's good?
Get it. Well, I'm glad to have you back, man. That last episode, right before I started shooting, I was sitting there like, man, I don't know how this is gonna go. I was like, man, this is what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to sit and shoot a video talking to myself. But I was like, once I started doing it, I was like, this ain't that bad.
I mean, nah, it's not like once you get warmed up and everything, you just, it just start flowing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I mean? So
you got your directive, and then you get in that groove and stick to it. You like, oh, okay, it ain't shit to it.
Yeah, man. And then it didn't look bad though. You know what I'm saying? You did your thing on that, bro.
Yeah, man, I was trying to hold it down, man. I was like, I gotta do it. Can't be scared. Oh man, tell the people what's been going on with you, bro. Where you been?
Man, folks, man, it was kind of hectic these last couple months. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, man. So I ended up moving, getting my own spot, which I'm very grateful for, And then the second part is the most crazy part. So I ended up getting COVID. It got your boy, man. It took me out for a little minute, but I'm recovered. Oh yeah, and I still can't taste anything. So I guess I recovered from the major stuff, but I guess like your taste buds is like, yeah, maybe it's a minor thing to it, but yeah, man. So I ended up moving. I got me a spot that, number one, I could afford, and number two, it's in a better area. Like, hey, I'm telling you, dude, like the area where you live and what you surrounded by is a key factor in like where you want to be.
For sure.
So just a little bit while I was living before, it was surrounded by nothing but niggas. I couldn't stand being around them, bro. Like every time like I'm leaving for work, niggas outside just looking at you like leave, like get in your car, leave your door. They just watching you. And then I get back from work, the same niggas is still standing outside. I'm like, bro,
you niggas ain't got no job.
They don't have no job. They don't have no life. They just outside. Then I get back. It's some people. What happened? Then it was like, I think like the last month I was there, the neighbors outside shooting. Police getting called. People outside fighting. And then one time I ain't even see him. My mom had seen him. She was like, the neighbors was outside. They was in the car smoking crack. Smoking that rock.
Where mom stay, man?
What was we staying at? Cause she's moving too though, thank God. So we was staying over there in Oakmont, in the Oakmont apartments.
Give me a street. I don't know where that's at. You ain't even got to give me like the street it was on, but like major street. The next major street is close to.
What is that? Off of West Forsyth.
West Forsyth. Okay.
Yeah, so. West Forsyth.
Okay.
So I'm just like, cause that's over there like in the Ferguson area.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, like it was just a lot of stuff that was adding on to it, man. Like I said, neighbors outside shooting, smoking crack. And then, like, dude, like
that sounds so bad.
It do though, like, and it wasn't a project or nothing like that, but it was just like, and they like the place where we were staying at. It was the housing, like part of it was nice, but the people was fucked up, and that's what made it bad. That's what made this like.
I mean, that'll fuck up any neighborhood if the people ain't got the mindset to keep the shit up.
I'm telling you though, bro, it's just pure ignorance.
Just like if you even know what that little community is behind the White Castle on Newhall's Ferry, it's an apartment complex behind that big plaza where the Chuck E. Cheese used to be.
Yeah,
right behind the White Castle, there's a bank, and then there's like a small community of houses. It's a loop of dead end streets. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a figure 8 back there. Community called Liberty Landing. Now, if you've ever been in there,
I have heard of it, but I never been there.
You've ever been in there and looked at the housing? The houses look nice. None of them look like trap houses or nothing like that. But a lot of them could use like a good washing. You know what I'm saying? Because the siding is dirty, and you can. I mean, then when you see some of the people that come out of the house, you like, oh yeah, this nigga not getting no power washing and come out here cleaning his house.
And that's sad to say sometimes, like about your own people though, bro. But
yeah, I mean, but
it's the truth sometimes, man.
Like a lot of leaders have said, man, some niggas just gotta die. Some niggas just gotta die.
Yeah.
Some niggas just got. Everybody ain't worth. Well, let me rephrase that. Everybody's not worth saving. That's what I've heard from a lot of black leaders. Everybody's not worth saving. Yeah. Like some of them you have to leave behind, and some of them you do. That's
the unfortunate side of it. And that ain't just that's just not just black people. That's just anybody in general.
Right. You know, everybody's not worthy of your help.
Cause, and then so I don't think I ever told you, but like some days I would like come home when I was staying in my previous home or whatever. It was a white dude, and he would just be sitting in his car, just looking at motherfuckers.
Nah, you ain't tell me this.
I'm dead ass, bro. Like he would just be sitting, and I'm talking about. It's like I think I went outside like one time for something, like to go back out in my car for something. It's like maybe like 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and and I stay up late because of my job. You know what I'm saying? I only work part time, so I be up.
This nigga stay up late because he be on that duty. Don't let him fool.
Warzone, man. I'm addicted to it. Man.
We off at 9 o'clock. That ain't late.
Hey, man, you know what I mean, man. But so I went out to my car for something, and this happened on like multiple occasions. This ain't just like no one time thing where I seen this man just in his car, just sitting up, just looking at people like. Right. So I went outside. I think I left my charger or something in the car or something. I went outside to get it. And the white dude, he's just sitting in his car just looking at me. I'm just like, what's wrong with this man? I'm like, I ain't think nothing of it, so I just went back inside. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I kept seeing him, you know what I'm saying, like throughout the week, repeating this same pattern. Just him sitting in his car. It's like, it's late. It's like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. What's wrong with this nigga? Like, he got a mental problem or something? Like, he just sitting out here just looking at people. I'm just like, yeah, this something.
I mean, well, you know what he was doing, though.
I don't know what the hell he was doing.
He working with them feds. He trying to build that case before he come out, break down that door.
But you know what? Because, like, around that time, it was a lot of shootings going on over there. So I was thinking, I'm like, a white man in his car, sitting up just looking at people, just watching folks. And I did assume he was working with those guys, like he was part of the feds. But I'm like, dude, I don't know. I can't call it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
What type of car was it? Was it one of the marquee police cars?
Nah, this was like a white Toyota or something. Something like real low key.
I ain't never seen him in no Toyota.
Bro, cause like initially I'm thinking like when I first saw him, or like a couple times, like one time I saw him, I thought he was dead.
Damn.
Cause he was just sitting, he was just like, his eyes wouldn't open or nothing. I was getting ready to knock on the door, but then on his car door, but then I walked by. I guess he seen it, like I guess he somehow seen my shadow go by, and then he just kind of just popped up, and I said, oh, he's alive. I just kept moving. I said, okay, all right.
That is crazy. I ain't approaching no white man in this car late at night.
Facts.
I ain't giving you no reason.
I mean, I was going to just to be a
good Samaritan.
Yeah, because I'm like, if it's a dead guy sitting in his car, like,
Cameron told us, man, niggas get shot every day, B.
Every day, B. But he wasn't shot. He wasn't doing no shooting or getting shot at. But it was just I don't know what that was, man. That was just weird.
Oh man. So they COVID, man.
Man.
Tell us about that, man.
Bro,
like, what was that experience like?
People, I cannot stress the virus is real and it's in effect. Like, don't fall into any of that conspiracy stuff talking about it's not real. They just want to keep people inside so they can do this, that, and the third. No, this is very, very real. Like, I think was it like the symptoms? Matter of fact, I had a high fever and I passed out. Hit the floor, and then luckily, cause I slept in the living room that night for whatever reason, and I got up to use the bathroom. And then next thing I know, I hit the floor, passed out, and then I heard my mom. She was, calling out my name, and I woke up, and I said, "The fuck? How the hell I get on the ground?" I was just standing up on my feet, and this happened like in a matter of like probably about 10 seconds. So I used the restroom. I was feeling lightheaded. Boom, hit the floor. My mom called out to me. She was like, "What's that noise?" I was like, I guess I passed out. Then she came downstairs, called the ambulance, took me to the hospital. And then the most painful part was when they stuck that thing up my nose to test for the COVID. That hurt like hell.
The Q-tip.
It was like a piece of plastic or something. It wasn't no Q-tip for sure. But yeah, then they told me a day later I had COVID. And I'm like, man, that makes a lot of sense because
told you a day later?
Yeah, because when I got admitted, they tested me, and then they didn't get the results until, because I was there for 12 hours in the ER.
Okay,
so yeah, so like when they released me, it was around like 1 p.m. when they released me. So and then they told me, actually it was the next day after I got released actually. And then that's when they said they called me and told me I had COVID, and then I needed to quarantine for like the next 14 days. So like the symptoms I had was high fever, low fatigue, and what was I couldn't smell anything, and I couldn't taste anything. So those are my 4 major symptoms. And I know some people were saying that like they had like their chest was hurting and all that stuff, but that never, like, that didn't happen to me. Like, the main thing was just the fatigue. That was a huge issue. Like, they gave me some meds for like for my fever and everything, and my headache. It went away. I was fine, but the fatigue stayed with me probably after the quarantine. I want to say for about, like, it was good enough to where I could go to work. It wasn't that severe when it initially happened, but after I was well enough to go to work, the fatigue was still with me for, I want to say, for about like another 3 weeks until I got back to full strength. Yeah, so that's just how it affected me.
After your quarantine,
yeah, after my quarantine,
for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like that was more severe than my fatigue. Because after I was diagnosed and I came home, my fatigue was really bad, but I didn't know how bad because I wasn't doing no lifting. I wasn't back at work yet. But,
right. And
that first day back, what Grizzly say? First day out.
First day out.
Oh my
God,
God,
with you,
bro! I was like, I should have stayed at home, bro. Cause my route was heavy that day, and my first stop, matter of fact, was heavy as hell. And
he said out the gate,
it just revealed like how depleted of energy my muscles were. Like, I mean, them boxes were probably like a good 40-45 pounds, and I mean, it took every bit of every muscle from my arms, shoulders, back, legs, everything, just to pick them up and put them on the truck. And I was just like, I got a whole shift. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, if I had some time, I would have just took more time off to recoup, but I ain't had that time, and it didn't take as long for me to recoup either. Like, that first day was the worst. My body was
like
beat up, but it just, the next day wasn't even half as bad. It was like a third as bad. And then by Wednesday, I was pretty solid, and then Thursday, smooth sailing.
Yeah, I think like for me, like when I returned, it probably took me like you said, like the first day was definitely the worst day because your body just coming back, like getting accustomed to lifting these heavy packages.
Exactly.
So that was definitely the worst day. But I want to say it took me probably maybe like 3 days to get used to that heavy lifting again. And then I was kind of like, I was decent with it, but like I said, I was still kind of fatigued though. So it was a little different for me.
It was terrible. That first day, man, was nothing like that first day. Terrible. But since we're speaking on that COVID, man, the crazy thing is, like, so today I went to my little cousin's football game.
You did that today?
Yeah. It was out in St. Charles.
Ah, okay.
It was at Sheehan High School, right? So we out there. they require you to have a mask on to get onto the school property so you can watch the games, things like that.
Which they should.
So I'm leaving. I gotta go to the bathroom. They didn't have a porta potty, but what I was hearing was like at the school they had a bathroom, but it wasn't. You couldn't close the door, and like it was like a locker room that you couldn't secure the bathroom in, and it was one toilet. So like anybody could walk in on you like you using it.
What?
And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like a setup for sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the Quick Trip down the street. So that's what I did. So
okay.
For like the whole time we were there, I'm holding it. I'm like, man, I gotta go. And the only reason I held it, I mean, I'm watching the game, and then after that, like a friend of mine I used to work with was up there because her sons play. So I chopped it up with her and her sister for a minute, more like 20 to 30 minutes, and then finally left, go to the Quick Trip. I put my mask on as I'm getting out the car, and I'm walking up to the door. I see a white man walking with no mask. I'm like, okay, most people put them on at the door or as they walking in. As I'm getting to the door, and he was ahead of me, so he's already in. So he walks in, doesn't even reach for a mask. I'm like, oh, these white people just entitled. I get to the door and look at the sign at the door. It's got the face covering sign on the door, but the text that was accompanied with the picture of the mask wasn't something I had seen before. The text read face covering suggested. I was like,
suggested.
Exactly. I'm like, suggested. I'm
like, I know the era the times we living in right now.
Every at the store I've been to in St. Louis, it's required.
Required,
like, what do you mean suggested? I was like, and then when I get in there, I was like, okay, let me take a look around. So I take a look straight ahead in the QT kitchen. I see the employee got a hairnet on, no mask. I'm like, huh?
Oh, you talking about still at the Quick Trip?
Yeah, in the Quick Trip.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, so they had a hairnet on, no mask. I look at the guys behind the counter, no mask. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like,
no.
So it's just optional out here in St. Charles? I'm like, I knew every city was a little bit different as far as like they curfews and how they were enforcing it, but I didn't know it was like that in St. Charles. I don't spend as much time as I used to out there. So to see that it's optional, I was surprised.
I don't be over there at all. I don't know what they do over there on that side of the bridge though, but any Quick Trip that I've been to here on this side, it's required. Yeah. I remember like I literally walked in one Quick Trip and a customer came in right after I did, and the clerk was like, "Sir, like you have to have your mask on." And he started to like, catch a little attitude, but he did what he's supposed to do. He went back to his car, put his mask on, came back in, and got whatever he needed, and he was up out of there.
Now, in regard to different cities enforcing it in different manners, if you've been in a Quick Trip during the pandemic, then you know that most of them weren't serving food, not except for the
packaged food,
the ready to eat food, not the ready to eat food, but the food you order, anything that you order from the QT kitchen. I mean, they were serving that. That was made to order. Mm-hmm. So made to order food they were serving, but the hot dogs that sit out on the grill,
like them little none of that stuff. And stuff.
None of that stuff was out for the duration of most of the pandemic. You couldn't even, if they were serving drinks, fountain drinks, you had to go to the counter to get cups. I'm just now starting to see Quick Trips put the cups back in the customer's reach.
So they getting more lenient.
Yeah, more lenient. Okay. But the crazy thing is, during the height of it, this made, I can't remember exactly when this was. It's probably sometime last year, probably right before, probably October, November of last year. I'm going to see an orthodontist down in Eureka. This is the first time I've been outside of St. Louis during the pandemic, so I'm down there. I go to my appointment and then I leave and I go to the closest Quick Trip, right? I'll go to the Quick Trip, and to my surprise, they're serving hot dogs and donuts and they got the cups in the customer's reach and fountain drinks, and I'm like, damn, like you guys are doing all of that. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, okay, so this is what they mean by certain, different counties and cities are policing this in a different manner and going about it in different ways. I'm like, okay, because I'm like, no Quick Trip in St. Louis was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, all of that stuff was temporarily banned.
Do you think it's because like I guess like the amount of people that come in and out of the quick trips, like maybe it's not a lot of people over there when you saw that, like over there in Eureka, but over here in St. Louis, it's like it's a lot of, you know, people coming in and out of there constantly.
I don't think it has to do with like the amount of people, because if what's this? Wait a minute, what's this Eureka? I mean Arnold. This was Arnold, Missouri, not Eureka. But either way, it was a highly congested area because I mean it was in like the heart of the city with all the other businesses, so it was super congested. So I don't think it had anything to do with the foot traffic, because regardless of that, I mean, if even just one person comes in and contaminates it, then it's able to spread to other people. And I think that was the purpose of not banning that stuff, so that it would help stop the spread, and so they could also stay open. That was most likely a requirement for them to stay open. Well, what precautions are you taking to slow the spread? Okay, well, we're taking everything off the road. Anything that different people come in and touch often, we're just gonna eliminate that for now, so that we can stay open, so that we can sell gas, so that we can sell the prepackaged stuff, and that the things that people can reach in, like the toppings for your hot dogs and all the condiments and stuff, the stuff that brings in the high traffic hands, we're just gonna remove that from the store for right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
like I want, like, the thing that really gets me about people is when you walk into a store and you don't have your mask on, and someone tells you to go put a mask on, they get upset, they get offended by it. I'm like, and to me, those are people I dislike, because they're saying that forget everybody else, I'm only focusing on myself. And then they'll be like, they don't. I think those are the people that don't really believe in it,
or they just don't care. Either
or. I mean, they were like, well, it hasn't happened to me, so I'm good on it.
And I said this to somebody, it might have been you the other day, man. When people are not directly affected by something, it makes it so easy for them to not disprove it,
dismiss
it. It makes them very dismissive of whatever it is. It's just like white people and racism.
That's what we was talking about.
They don't suffer from the discrimination that people of color do, so it's easy for them to dismiss it when somebody like us complains about it. When we're fighting for rights, or you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that we're doing, it's easy for people that aren't black to dismiss racism, because, especially white people, because they are not victims of this discrimination. Yeah. And it's the same thing with the COVID, man. If you haven't suffered from it, and nobody you know or love has suffered from it, it's very easy for you to dismiss it. Yep. Because you're just like, it ain't affecting nobody I know. It's not affecting my world. So I mean, why should I care about it?
Or they be like, it's not real at all.
Right, and that's just ignorance.
It is though.
Just because it ain't happened to you don't mean it's not real. That's okay. If you ain't, it's just like saying if you ain't hit the lottery, ain't nobody ever gonna hit the lottery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that ain't the case. It just hasn't happened to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just the luck of the draw. I don't like wearing a mask, but
me neither. Nobody does.
Whenever I walk in a store, I put it on. I mean, because at this point, it's just common courtesy. Like, regardless of whether I like wearing a mask, it's mandated. And then on top of that, I mean, if wearing it puts somebody else's mind at ease, I mean, I'm cool with it.
True. Because I be seeing like people when we on the job, like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, where's your mask at, bro? Like, then, like, to me, like, when I see.
I'm laughing so hard. I gotta be honest. I'm one of the people at work. I'm not. When we're at work in the FedEx location, I'm not wearing the mask. This management isn't even wearing the mask. So it's like, well, dang, y'all don't care. Y'all could be in here spreading it. And it's not to say, I might as well get it, but I think I've had it, but I don't know for sure because I didn't go get tested at the time. But I have been tested twice within the last month because I thought I had it, and all that turned out to be was diabetes. But I'm not really fearful of it. And I mean, I do understand that I could be a carrier and I could be spreading it. So I mean, when you think about that aspect, I should be wearing it. But I mean, when leadership's not holding everybody to it, and I already don't want to wear it, it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, I'm not finna sweat under here throwing these packages, so I just don't wear that. I just don't wear it when I'm at the station. Don't worry when I'm servicing my customers though.
I can see it like people don't want to wear it now because we're finna enter summer. So it's going to make it really, really uncomfortable to wear that mask, which I do get it. But I'll just be like, bro, like, cause like the one thing that'll really piss me off, like since we in the COVID era, is when a nigga sneeze. Bro, you sneeze and like I see people sneeze, they don't even do this. They'll sneeze in their hand, go touch something, or they just sneeze in the air and then just watch it just dissolve in the air. I'm like, bro, like I want to fight you now. Like you just disrespected everybody like that's in this room. Cause if you sneeze in the mask, I'm cool with that. Cause you have all the germs pretty much just on your face at that particular time. But I'm like, I just see people just like they just have like, it's just disrespectful to me.
I've never liked people that don't have a common courtesy to like just cover their face or whatever when they coughing or sneezing or whatever. Like I'm teaching my kids, hey, coughing, man.
Yeah.
Turn away from whoever you near and put that in your elbow, man. Like quit. Like my son this morning, I had him in the kitchen to help me dry dishes, and before I had him start, I was shuffling stuff around so I could get him to help me, and he coughed, and I knew he didn't cover his mouth. Cause I could see what he was doing in my peripheral, and then when I turned and looked at him, his hand, there was no movement, there was no
gesture,
his hand wasn't going back to a rest position because it was already in the rest position. I'm like, you nasty mother. It's like, hey man, cover your mouth, and then he looking at me crazy because he's like, yeah, I know I did.
Like, I done messed up.
Yeah, you messed up, man. Yep. Cover your mouth, man. And it's crazy, bro, because I'm still seeing people not even wash their hands at work.
Wow.
A nigga.
Wow.
I walked in the bathroom. A man flushed the toilet, walked right past me. He said, "Excuse me." I said, "Yeah, big dog, you excuse me." Said, "Get your ass up out of here, nasty ass dude."
Bro, I think
he was white. He was white. I'm gonna let it be known, man. He was white.
I can't remember where I was at. But I think I was in college when this happened. Like a professor, he literally came out the stall. He was like, "Oh, hey, Demarco," and tried to shake my hand. I said, "Nigga, what the fuck?" I said, "Boy, the hell wrong with you?"
I'm your professor for the semester. Look at that.
I'm like, man, this nigga's crazy. I'm like, man, you better get on with that, man. So I'm like, crazy.
That's crazy. He thought he had
tripping.
He thought he had
buddy out here tripping. Yeah, I'm like, yo, like
the teachers last. Hey man, you wanna know what I did to Demarco?
Man, look,
it was crazy.
He lucky I ain't cuss him out. I'm like, and then because I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like when he came out the stall, like I guess like because I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I kind of started him because I'm walking, he coming out, and I'm going this way, and we see each other. He's like, oh, hey, Demarco. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, you scared him into a handshake?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work. And then I was like, okay, so I ain't shake his hand. And then I just was, I just kind of see what he's finna do. See if he was gonna wash his hands. Negative. He pimped out that thing, smooth as hell. I said, boy, you nasty. And the thing about it that made me extra mad was he was my teacher for that semester. So I'm like, every time like I gotta like he hand me something, I'm like, I don't even want to touch it. I'm like, cause I know he ain't washing his hands. I just saw you leave the stall and not wash your hands. I'm like, yeah.
Man, that's nasty, man.
The savagery.
That's nasty. That's just no consideration. You just don't give a damn about the next person, man.
It's either to be honest with you, I don't even know if it's that. I just think that's just how like certain people raised in their home. They don't do it because if you're not doing it at home, you ain't gonna do it nowhere else.
True, but the reason I say you don't care about the next person is okay. Think about what we do. We servicing people. We picking up packages. I pick it up and then you touch me. You know what I'm saying? If Ricky sends you down to help me unload my truck, and I just went to the bathroom, put my hand all over my nuts, and then I could just walk clean up out that mug. No soap, no water, no napkin. I'm just back on the truck, unload. Yeah. Okay, whatever I got, whether it be crabs, germs, bacteria, whatever. And I'm picking it up. Here you go, Demarco. Throw that on the belt for me.
I'd have touched it. I might have scratched my face.
And you knowing this.
Anything. Yeah,
that's being that nasty individual. You knowing this, and you just like, man, fuck that nigga.
Fuck. I mean, but I say, man.
As Terrence would say, I know one of my subscribers is gonna one of my subscribers is gonna appreciate this. Fuck Mark. Fuck Terrence. Fuck Lil Ted. Fuck Mark. He never helped me on Sunlight. Fuck him. Oh man. But I mean that's what you saying in my opinion, man. Cause honestly, if I were to do that, that would be my mindset. You know what I'm saying? If I did that knowing that, okay, whatever I got, I'm passing along with it. Whether it just be some harmless bacteria, it's still bacteria that I wouldn't be passing along if I would have washed my hands. So the fact that I didn't wash my hands and I'm going into this knowing that I'm passing this along, I'm basically saying, well, fuck, I don't care enough about him. I don't respect you enough to wash my hands and not do this to you. So fuck.
Right. Cause like I said, man, I just feel like all that kind of like simple stuff like that starts at home. It starts at home, like from when you were a child. Like if your parents haven't taught you like the basics of like how to cleanse yourself and just to do just regular ordinary things. I forgot who I was talking to. They was saying the man had been alive for like 20 years and didn't know how to wash dishes. I said, how do you like? How is it possible? I'm just like, I don't know if he was just spoiled.
I don't see how that's
or what, but I'm like, you've been alive 20 years and don't like a 5-year-old can learn, like you can know how to wash a dish.
I mean, hell, I'm teaching my 6-year-old to dry the dishes.
That's what I'm saying. So how are you 20? I could see like maybe you said you ain't know how to drive or something, but washing dishes, some stuff that you surrounded by every day.
That's crazy.
Even if you got a dishwasher, sometimes you still might have to wash some stuff by hand
before you put them in there.
Yeah,
that's like a basic life skill, man. That's ridiculous.
I don't know, man.
It's ridiculous.
But I ain't gonna lie. I feel like in the future, it's gonna be a lot of that stuff going on. People they're not gonna know how to do the basic stuff because technology is gonna be too advanced. It's gonna be doing everything for us. You're not gonna know the basics of anything. Because you're gonna have a robot or some kind of mechanical tool in your house that's gonna do everything for you. Now this might be 100 years from now or something like that, but it's gonna get that way.
Well, hell, we're already entering an age with autonomous cars. I can't think of where they're being tested. It's either in India or it's in China that these autonomous cars are being tested, and they're also testing autonomous semis. Which
I seen those because they run off the Bluetooth, like off 5G, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't read about that.
The one I seen, I believe so, because it was driving itself, and I do remember that they said it was running off of Bluetooth, off the new 5G network.
That's crazy. The crazy thing is, it's like, I mean, yeah, advancements need to be made. But at the same time, like something like that, like autonomous cars, I wouldn't get excited about something like that because that could potentially eliminate thousands of jobs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in the trucking industry when it comes to that industry. Like, and I mean, I've been reading since I started in the trash industry because I was looking into going over the road. I've been reading into, I get updates from time to time about the trucking industry. And the trucking industry has been on a decline as far as drivers coming into it versus like the ratio for new drivers coming into the industry versus old drivers retiring. It's the offset is so large that the industry is suffering because of it.
So that's why they're doing that.
They're probably gonna do it regardless.
Because
somebody sees a profit to be made. You know what I'm saying? But if it eliminate, like, because I've been hearing about just robots replacing people in settings like warehouses and things like that, and I'm just like, if you do that, the company may be able to save money, but then at what cost? Because then how does the economy thrive if you slash the workforce in half and replace them with machines? Machines aren't spending money.
At that point, I don't think that they would probably care, like, because it's 3 classes now: low, middle, and high class. If they were to do that, then you probably would just either low class or you high class. The middle class would probably cease to exist at that particular time. Because I don't know if I said this in a previous video on our channel, but what I've said before was like, you know, in the near future, like people, they're gonna wish that they could work at McDonald's. Like that's how bad I see it getting in the future. Like people are gonna wish that they can work at McDonald's, or like any of those, like, you know, entry level positions. It's either going to be taken by a robot or some kind of machine or however you want to call it, or what was I gonna say? Damn, I forgot my point.
Talking about the people's, what you feel like the people's need for having a job. Because I guess your overall point is like in this current day, people take jobs like that for granted, but right. you foresee that the workforce being replaced with machinery, they're gonna wish that they had these opportunities that they kind of look down on now.
That and this what I just remember. So it's gonna be replaced by, you know, AI intelligence, or they're gonna say you have to have a certain degree to work at McDonald's, to work at Walmart. You need a bachelor's degree or a master's degree to work at Walmart.
That'd be insane, man. I know somebody that's been turned down from McDonald's actually sent them away because they were overqualified.
Yeah. I never understood that though. Like, what difference do it make? I'm capable to work, and
you're not gonna pay me what I want to be paid anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Degree or no degree. So what does it matter?
But you know what? I would rather. I do want to ask a company, like, why they turn away applicants that they, you know, they can fill that void within the company, but they say they're overqualified. Like, I don't understand that, because like, when you go for a job, you like, if you're used, let's say you used to getting paid $100,000, and then they hit you with the overqualified stuff, and they're like, okay, you don't got to pay me $100,000, pay me $75,000, and you know that they can afford to give it to you, but they don't, because they say that you overqualified. I don't understand that. If he's willing to negotiate his price and come down off what he normally makes, and that's still enough for him to live off of and do whatever he has to do with that money, why are you saying no?
It might be because that degree is the separation between that individual and the person that does not have a degree. That might be the separation between them and somebody with a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? Like, the person with the high school diploma is gonna come into it accepting the low offer. They're gonna accept you fucking them over because that's what they expect, versus the person with the degree that's carved out this existence in life where they've obtained over 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? They have a certain standard of living, and then now they just been dealt the hand where they have no other option but to come to you and your establishment, and so they looking for an employment, and you turn them away because man, I'm not gonna be able to screw him. I can't treat you like cattle because you know better. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, the average person they willing to accept the pay. They willing to accept my entry level pay with no raise. The benefits that's killing their pockets because it's $40 every week. You know what I'm saying? And they only making $1,200 a week or $1,200 a month or whatever the case is. So the person that's overqualified, you know what I'm saying? They're ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I'm trying to think of it'd be like taking your level 1 Squirtle and trying to beat a nigga with a level 35 Charizard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not gonna happen, bro.
No chance. You have no chance of beating this nigga with that Squirtle, man, because this nigga he's levels beyond you. You know what I'm saying? You can't put them two in the same class.
Even if, because he got, and that's his weakness too. On top of that, he still can't beat him, so it don't matter.
Exactly, man. So you just, so to eliminate the headache of having to revisiting this conversation later about more money or whatever the case it may be, you know what I'm saying, whether he want a different position, whether he want to advance to your position or whatever the case may be, you just say, hey man, you overqualified, I ain't got nothing for you. So like the last point you just made, so you think that they say that so they don't have to be in competition with that person? I would say so. I wouldn't say that's every decision. I wouldn't make a blanket statement and say that's the basis for every decision, but I would say that's part of the decision making process.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I remember this guy I worked with at Waste Connections. His name is RJ. He told me about a conversation he had with the only black manager that was there. And they had a conversation. The black manager's name is Lewis. So Lewis asked RJ. He said, "So tell me, what's your goal? What do you plan on doing here?" And RJ looked him dead in the eyes and told him, "I want your job." He said, and Lewis, Lewis was laying back in his chair. He said, "When I told him I want your job, he said, huh?" They're not expecting to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not what people want to hear, because now that I know that you after my job, I gotta
you gotta step it up.
I gotta step it up, and if I'm incapable of stepping it up, well, now I gotta make you look bad. You know what I'm saying?
You sabotage.
Exactly.
That's
And somebody like Lewis, believe me, bro, Lewis was not above sabotaging the nigga. The nigga did it to me. That's why I was in the position I was in for so long. He had claims, oh, it's because you had that accident. But let's talk about all the accidents these white boys having that y'all keep giving them passes on. We ain't talking about that, though.
I ain't gonna talk about that.
We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about how anytime I talk about advancement, you want to say, oh, you had an accident. Okay, but that don't stop you from sending me to South County, North County, Earth City, or wherever the hell you want me to go and help somebody on the route. But anytime I talk about getting some training or getting on a different route, oh, you had an accident. Oh, okay, but that's what niggas do. That's not just what niggas do, but that's what people in positions of power do when they want to keep you where you are, so they can so they can continue to manipulate you. You got to be smarter than that, and you got to want more for yourself. I wasn't going for it, so eventually I followed the chain of command, went over that nigga's head and talked to his boss and said, hey man, I'm ready to quit. I done left my route on the ground.
Yeah.
I say, I'm sick of your management team. I say, anytime I want to talk about advancement, they want to pull this, oh, you had an accident. I say, but whenever they want me to go help that other white boy that's doing yard waste, oh, Teddy, can you go help? We don't mention the accident. I'm sick of that, man. I say, if an accident is preventing me, I said that one accident is preventing me from advancing, I say, allow that. I said, then we're going to allow that one accident to prevent me from helping anybody you need me to help. So you make a decision. Are you going to train me for something else? Or am I walking out this door?
I agree, though, because just because you had an accident, you know what I'm saying, like, that don't make you necessarily a bad person. That's just something that, like you said, they can just hold that over your head. And it's crazy because it's like
manipulation.
You would think the one black guy that's in a position of power would try to help others that's trying to get to that level, but he didn't do that at all.
You would like to think that, man, but niggas be cones, man. You gotta watch people. You gotta watch black people in positions like that, because oftentimes they tap dancing just to keep the white people satisfied and to keep that position, man. Yeah. Like he the type of guy that would have done anything to keep that position. And now he's in the position that his boss was in when I spoke to him about my issue. And from what I heard, he pulling his hair out because they still doing bad business and treating people wrong. So people quitting, and they spending money in places where they shouldn't be spending money. They spending money on cameras to monitor the driver while he's working, but you got trucks breaking down every day. You know what I'm saying? You don't have enough trucks in your fleet to service your customers, but you buying high-tech cameras that's saying, put the water down. You got you got a damn RoboCop in every truck talking about you have 5 seconds to put the water down, Demarco.
They literally be talking on her?
From what I'm hearing, they talking. And the funny thing is, Otis told me, when me and Otis was still working there, Otis said, hey bro, he said, believe me what I say. He said they finna get some new cameras in there, because we already had cameras in the truck watching. Okay. They lied and said the camera only records if you perform a violation, like speeding, or you stop over or if you run a red light, stop sign, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you in an accident. You know what I'm saying? They was like, that's when it records, and then the green light changes from green to red.
Yeah.
Come to find out, the camera's always record. The camera's recording you all day long.
Wow.
And so you will get pulled to the side. You know what I'm saying? You will finish your day of work thinking everything cool. Your camera never went off, and then they'll be pulling you to the side talking about something. Hey man, what happened here? You like what you mean? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and the crazy thing is, man, they like to build up to it like they get some type of joy out of it, man. They put you in the office, sitting back in the chair, like, hey man, what's going on, man? So tell me what happened out there today. You like, you know what I'm saying? When the niggas approach you like that, you like. You know he knows something that you don't. Yeah. And you like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because you thinking, man, all I did was pick up some trash and brought it in.
It's a normal day.
What you mean? Hey man, well, hey Jim, pull up that drive cam. Teddy, right here, man. It looks like you had a Snickers while you were driving. Tell us about that. And you like, what? You like, yeah, man. You know it's against policy for you to be eating and drinking while you're driving. Hold on, man. How y'all even know that thing never even turned red? Huh? I said the camera never even turned red. Oh man, well, don't even worry about all that, man. What we need to figure out is how can we correct this going forward? You know, it's just bullshit, man.
So like, when do y'all have to sign something about the camera use?
If they write you up, they want you to sign it.
No, man. I'm talking about as far as filming you, like, cause you don't
No. Because they lied to you, so no, they're not gonna have you sign something because then that contradicts the lie that they're telling you when you're in there every day.
Well, I'm just saying, like, under normal circumstances, like if you don't want to be like, I'm saying because I would feel they would need my permission to record me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why is this happening?
Exactly. And that was my, like, when I found out, I'm like, so these lying bastards. And didn't, you know what I'm saying, never brought it up. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing is this is how I found out it was recording all day. So one day, just out of curiosity, I had a helmet. I just put it over the camera, right? Mm-hmm. Was it a couple days later, they I didn't have it on there all day. I had it on there maybe like 10 minutes. A couple days later, they I got either a couple days later or it might have been the next morning. I just started my route and I'm getting a text from Lewis and he talking about hey, unblock your camera. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because this is a whole new day, ain't nothing on my camera. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it just seems random. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I text him like, what you talking about? He was like, give me a call. So I called him. I was like, hey, what's going on, man? He said, yeah, man, I just need you to unblock your camera. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, ain't nothing in front of my camera. He was like, oh, well, I'm just looking at this picture that we got from this drive cam, and it looked like you had something over your camera. Like, it looked like it could be a helmet. I mean, I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know exactly what it is. You literally just called me out on what it was. You know what I'm saying?
So they had the footage of the prior day, or the previous day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's blocked, I mean, if it's blocked, the third party that's monitoring the camera, you know what I'm saying, it gets flagged as a violation and then it's brought to their attention and then they bring it to your attention. You know what I'm saying?
You would have think they would have caught that immediately.
I don't know if there's like a delay in the reporting process.
I'm assuming so, because if they didn't say anything the day it happened and they get to you the following day,
it's usually the following day.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
there's some type of delay.
It's a day behind. That's what it sounds like to me, or a couple hours behind.
But I mean, that proved that it's not only recording in the event of an accident or a violation. It's recording all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Because if I'm still driving in a safe manner that's not provoking the camera to change from green to red, then how do you know I have anything in front of my camera?
Point taken.
I done caught you in a lie. Lying ass.
I don't know, man, but I think what I'm saying, I think it might. I think all jobs might come to that. All jobs might come to where you being watched. Even like when you out and about, just walking on the street, it's probably gonna be a camera like on every like light post or something like that, just watching you.
No, it's cameras on most traffic signals. What was I gonna say, man? I mean, they technically they watch us at where we work, not, you know what I'm saying, visually, but I mean they track us. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's one of the main reasons as to why I like my job so much, because like I have that freedom. Like I don't have anybody micromanaging me.
Exactly.
You know, that's like I was prior military, so I know how that feels. Like they assign you to do something, you just start, you like 15 minutes into the task, they come to check up on you. I'm like, bro, like what? I just started doing this and you already asking me how it's going. Like, bro, like come on, man. I could see you come back like an hour or something later. That's reasonable. That's to me that's more so normal. Let me go check on them, you know, see how it's coming along, see if they need some help or something. 15 minutes later, hey, that's not right. What you mean it's not right? I'm doing it by the book. Do it how I want you to do it. What? It's the same thing. What are you talking about?
Do it how I want you to do it.
I'm like, bro, people is crazy, bro. I'm just like,
that's what's wrong with a lot of management. Ego, man. Like,
yeah,
that ego takes hold. They get that little bit of power and become Superman and forget, man. A nigga still check you with a left hook, man. Like watch your mouth, man. Like your position don't make you immune from an ass whooping, man. And people, they be talking to you crazy, man. I just seen management talk to other people crazy. I've experienced management try to talk to me crazy, and then I have to check. I'm like, hey, man, I'm not the guy for that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think though, I've never really had that like outside of the military.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there it's kind of like you can go off on them, but it's not gonna do you no good at the end of the day. Right. So it's like sometimes then you just gotta choose. You gotta pick and choose your battles in there, bro. Yeah. Sometimes it's like sometimes you can say something, and like the consequence might not be severe. It might be a little light. Like you might just have somebody, you know, that's higher ranked than you pull you aside and yell at you. I'll take that any day.
Right.
Or they can send it all the way up to captain's mast, and then you know you be on restriction for like 30, 45 to 60 days. You can't leave the boat. You gotta do. It's called muster, but in civilian terms, I guess they'll be like you got a roll call every so many hours in a different uniform. Like, and if your uniform is not clean or whatever, then you take a hit, and then you get in more trouble, and then they taking money away from you on top of that. So, and then they can also take your rank away from you too. So that's why, like, if you a certain rank, sometimes it's wise not to say something just so you won't like get bust down a rank. Cause I know like a lot of dudes in there kind of sloppy. They be fraternizing with the females that come in, and they like E7s and above, and get caught, you know, like having like get caught up with these women, and they get bust down. And then once you get your rank taken away from you, you got to, like, for some people you got to retire because you don't have enough time to make that rank back up before you get out. I kind of forgot how it goes, but it's similar to what I just said though.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like it's ridiculous, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Being able to strip somebody of their rank and the fact that they may not be able to achieve their rank before they retire and affect them financially. I mean, those are just, what's the word? Those are just guidelines set in place to manipulate those people. You know what I'm saying?
It is though, but shoot, man, we kind of went past what we wanted to.
We did. It was flowing, man.
It was though.
It was flowing, man.
It was though, but I will say this, you know what I'm saying, to our viewers though, we have a lot more in store, man. A lot more topics coming y'all way.
Yeah. We got the next couple episodes already lined up.
Yep. So just make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Remember. Oh, that ain't on that one. That wasn't on that one. I did it perfect. I did it perfect.
On a different page. Okay, there you go.
Man, you know what you gotta do. I ain't really hear it that much, but it's cool though.
It's because it's lower than what this is.
Oh, than the music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why they can hit that button, man. We need y'all to like, share, subscribe, comment, man.
Yes, sir.
Comment, join in on the conversation. That's what the comments are for. Share this, man. Tell a friend about the podcast. Tell somebody you know, like, hey, man, you remember them dudes from school? They got a podcast. Yep. We live and we back.
And it's fuego.
We're gonna be dropping every week, man. So get with us, man. Share, like, subscribe, man. Get on the conversation. It's Rich Thoughts, man. What you thought? It's Rich Thoughts, baby. Let's get it. Man, that's all we got for y'all, man. We signing out.
To the next one.
Peace. It's your boy TP, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We want you guys to leave a comment, man, because we really want to engage with you all, man. Also, don't forget to turn up and tune in every Friday for another new episode of Rich Thoughts. And please, 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 we've said it many times, but please don't forget.
Do your job, nigga, and hit that button.